What if everything you've been told about happiness is wrong? Imagine an old man, seemingly with nothing, yet possessing a peace deeper than anyone you know. This isn't just a story. It's a mirror reflecting our own relentless chase for more and what we truly might be missing. Sometimes, life gives us more than we can handle. More stress, more noise, more demands. But what if true happiness isn't in gaining more, but in letting go? Every morning, Samuel woke before sunrise. Not because he had to, but because he wanted to witness something most people were too busy to notice: the soft, golden light slowly brushing across the world. He would sit by his small wooden table, cup in hand, watching the day awaken. The steam rising from his tea, the distant sound of birds, the simple rhythm of breathing. These became priceless treasures. In his former life, he had walked past 1,000 sunrises without once stopping to appreciate them. Now, each sunrise felt like a gift. Neighbors came to know him as the old man of stillness, not because he was slow or tired, but because he carried a peace that felt rare, almost sacred. One winter evening, when the wind swallowed the streets in cold silence, Samuel heard a knock on his door. When he opened it, a young woman stood there, shivering, hesitant, and holding a familiar look of exhaustion. "Mr. Hart, do you remember me?" she asked softly. Her name was Elise. She was one of his students from 20 years ago. Samuel recognized her kind eyes immediately. She stepped inside, and as she sat down, her eyes welled with tears. "I'm tired, sir," she whispered. "Everything in my life feels heavy. I keep buying things to fill the emptiness, but the more I buy, the emptier I feel." Samuel listened, quietly, attentively, just as he had done when she was a child in his classroom. After a long pause, he spoke gently. "The world has taught you to carry too much, but it has not taught you how to let go." Elise cried openly now. It wasn't just the words, it was the way he said them, completely without judgment, completely with love. Samuel rose slowly and motioned for her to follow him to a small cabinet he kept in the corner of the room. Inside were only 5 objects: a photograph of his parents, his father's carved wooden box, one teacup, a worn-out journal, and a small potted plant. He pointed at them one by one. "These are the only things I truly need. Everything else in my life is something I was brave enough to release." Elise looked around the room. She noticed how light it felt, not just physically, but emotionally. The space breathed with ease. "Doesn't it get lonely?" she asked. Samuel smiled. "No. Loneliness comes from being surrounded by things that cannot love you. Peace comes from being surrounded by only what speaks to your soul." Before leaving, Elise asked him one final question. "What should I let go of first?" Samuel thought for a moment and answered, "Start with anything that no longer tells the truth about who you are today." These words sank deep into her spirit. That night, she went home and began sorting through the life she had built around appearances and expectations. She cleared her room, her schedule, her relationships, even her thoughts. And for the first time in years, she slept without feeling heavy. As months passed, more and more people began visiting Samuel. Not because he advertised wisdom, but because wisdom has a way of spreading quietly like a soft candle flame in a dark room. Young couples, overwhelmed workers, retired neighbors, tired strangers, they all came seeking something simple, a sense of direction. Samuel never gave long speeches. He never claimed to have all the answers. He simply shared what life had taught him. You don't need more space. You need fewer burdens. Your joy grows when your desires shrink. The world tells you to collect things. Your heart tells you to collect moments. People left his cottage with fewer worries than they carried in. Some cried, some laughed, some stayed silent and reflective. But all of them walked away changed. On a warm spring afternoon, as blossoms covered Windmill Lane in soft colors, Samuel sat in his small garden planting new seeds. His hands were slower now, his breath gentler, but his eyes remained bright. A group of children passed by and waved. "Mr. Hart, where are you growing?" one boy shouted. "Joy," Samuel answered with a smile. They laughed, but they also understood. Children always understand simple truths. One evening, As he sat outside watching the sunset melt into the horizon, Samuel felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude, not for what he had gained, but for what he had released. He whispered to himself, "I didn't simplify my life to escape the world. I simplified my life so I could finally join it." He closed his eyes and felt the breeze brush against his skin. For the first time in his long life, he felt completely, undeniably full. Not with possessions, not with achievements, but with peace. And that peace became the legacy he left behind. The legacy of a man who discovered that true joy doesn't arrive when life gives you more. Samuel's journey is a reminder that a full life is not the same as a fulfilling life. He teaches us that happiness does not arrive when life gives us more. It arrives when we finally recognize that what we already have is enough. It arrives when you finally have enough. Isn't this inspiring enough? Comment, like, share, and follow for more.